Hello, welcome. It's always a pleasure to be here with you sharing as usual. Again, all of this is designed for us to understand why we're here, to have a better relationship with our loved ones. And today we're going to talk about is Mother's Day. You know, I went out today to Golden Corral for breakfast and I met a woman and her husband had just recently died about a year and a half ago. And she told me her new love is working in the garden because all the children left. She had about 4 kids and they lived throughout the state. And of course, one of the children called her to take her out for breakfast for Mother's Day. So all of them were going to meet her at Golden Corral. And while we were talking, we started talking. And it broke my heart to understand now, still she wasn't an older woman, but again, she still had many years left, which says now she's alone in this house because her husband has passed and her new love is working in the garden. And I started to think, even though the kids are coming from different places, on that one day to meet with their mother, out of 365 days, I believe, and one day out of all that time, we pick one day to focus and concentrate on our mother. Now, the question is this. Even though that one day from 12 a.m. to 12 p.m., we wake up at 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, and call our mother and say Happy Mother's Day. And if they went to the restaurant, and they spend 2 or 3 hours there, and then they all say goodbye to their mother and go their separate ways. So out of that one day, you actually only have 2 or 3 hours for her with her children to remind her that she's a good mother. But the question is, I personally don't believe in one day. I believe every day, as long as you've been alive, is Mother's Day. And we should treat it like that. But why don't we? Because again, I do understand the kids, they can only come and spend 2 or 3 hours with her at the restaurant and they had to go with their life because they have children, they're married. They can't, and they have a job, so they really can't invest a lot of time in mom. But again, that's sad. It hurts me. It's sad because my mother is gone. I remember when I used to go visit my mother and she always says, Victor, I'm going to cook for you. I'm going to cook for you. She always wanted to cook for me. She's always trying to find a way to please me, to make me happy. And I'm an adult. But she were persistent. She would not let me leave until I had a good meal for me before I go on the road. And the thing I miss the most about it is that, of course, I used to tell my mother I love her, but I didn't think I did that enough. And this is where we go wrong. We really get caught up in our own lives, thinking that we're chipping away day by day to get to our destination, to our desire, to our goals that we made. And then we let the most important thing, we ignore them. Usually the people who are close to us, our loved ones, and especially our parents. Our parents spend 20 years raising us, sacrificing, day in, day out. And at the end, when we leave, we can only find one day to say Happy Mother's Day and spend a couple hours with them. And especially if we are not in the same state or close to them, to spend time with them. So how could we really make that up? And I'll tell you something. This came to me. My daughter and I were talking, and she says, and after the conversation, I said to her, I love you. And she goes, really, Dad? Dad, that's something we know. There is no doubt in our mind. We know you love us. And I'm wondering, how was she so positive about that? What made her say that? But I remember I used to always tell them, I love you. Even as an adult, at the end of the conversation, I would tell them, I love you and I'm proud of you. So where am I going with that? That makes a difference because in their mind, they know they have absolute love from me. They know they have that. It's not a question for them at all. It simply doesn't exist. Do Dad love me? They know it. And what we need to do as children to our mother and our father, if they are good parents and they did everything for you, you should call them every chance you get. I would say maybe twice a week. It depends what your schedule is. And every time you call them, just tell them, I love you. I love you, Mom. I love you, Dad. Thank you. And why? I just love you because you're my parent. But the thing is this, what else could we do? God, if you have a wonderful parent, God gave you a wonderful mother and a wonderful father, if you have that. He gave you that. You should cherish. It says, honor thy mother, thy father. You should cherish. What does that really mean? It means love them, respect them, make sure they understand you love and you appreciate what they have done for you. And how do we do that? I remember I used to tell my father and my mother all the time, I love you, I love you, I love you. And my aunts too, I love you. That word always came out of my mouth. Because why? It's important. Even though they're your mother and your father, they need to hear those words. They need to hear it every time you speak to them. They need to know and they need to hear, even if it's a text. But I would rather say you call them and let them hear it from your mouth. That I love you, Mom. I love you, Dad. What other ways could we show that we love them? I think one another way that I would have done, again, this came to me, is this. If you like to shop online, you may be out of state somewhere far. Why don't you do this? Go online, maybe 3 or 4 times out of the year. Just shop, your parents' address. Send them something. Go online, shop for something, whatever your mom may need, whatever it is that she needs. If dad, a tie, a mom may need a new kitchen supplies. She may need some perfume, whatever it is, sandals, a dress, whatever, a pocketbook, a hat. Go online. If you can afford it, order it for your mom. Order it for your dad. Send them something so they will know. But again, what they really want to know is that you love them, you're thinking of them. And the best possible gift you can give your parents is for them to hear you say, I love you. Thank you. You have to make time for that. My mother is gone. And I wish at this point I could have told her more. I could have done more. That's the point I'm saying. I could have done more. But I allowed life to grab me and blind me, making me think that I had all the time to make up. Some of us may think about that, or we just simply think we have time. And the truth is, nobody has time because no one can promise you're going to be here tomorrow. The Bible does not promise anyone will be here tomorrow. So you need to think of it like this. I've been giving today. I may not have tomorrow, but I have today. Or today is my last day. And you must treat it that way moving forward. And what you have to do, the people you love need to know absolutely that you love them. And there is no other way to show you love them, even if you're far away, is to call them and tell them, I love you. And that has to be crystal clear to them that you love them. Because why? If you love something, and the Bible says that if you love something, that's where you spend your most time at, right? Think about it. Wherever your time is being spent, 80, 90%, you spending, that means that's what you love to do. So if you're not spending some kind of quality time with your mother, of course today's Mother's Day, with your mother, what does that say? And don't assume she knows you love them. What if your husband or wife did that to you? Or your children, assuming that you love them or they love you, but they don't tell you that they love you. For years, they don't tell you that. But I guarantee, well, I'm not God, if they were to say, hi, Mom, I love you. Thank you, Mom. That makes a world of difference. Because why? They haven't heard it from you. But make that part of your conversation. Make that the centerpiece of your life with your mother. Call her 2 or 3 times a week. I love you, Mom. Don't be selfish. Because why? Our mother made all that sacrifices just for us to be here today. Just to be the age you are today. She sacrificed her life, her body, her desires, her goal to bring you into this world. And she gave you everything she could for you to be here. Again, call her, tell her how much you love her. Make that a priority. Make that consistent. Just like you wake up every morning brushing your teeth. That's how it should be when it comes to your mother. Again, God gave you a wonderful parent. Gave you a wonderful mother. And again, when you love something, that's where all your time is at.